Now Wolverton's a place with an easy, gentle pace. It's a railway town of no great renown, but to us that's no
Wolverton is a town founded by a company, the Milton Keynes of the 1830s. It began life as a railway station, a stopping off point midway between London and Birmingham. In 1836, the London and Birmingham Railway Company made the decision to site their locomotive repair works at Wolverton, and the Victorian new town was born. In 1967, the new town of Milton Keynes was designated and Wolverton was incorporated into the new city. As Milton Keynes developed around it, Wolverton lost its sense of identity.
When you think of Milton Keynes, you think of a young, thriving city, but many people don't realise that before Milton Keynes we had a series of much older communities, and here in Wolverton is a fine example. A former railway town. When you look around now, you may think that it's perhaps past its prime, but actually Wolverton has the most fantastic sense of community here. We have a fabulous group of people who are determined to do their bit to help regenerate this town.
Since 2003, the Wolverton community have been working on the regeneration of the town through the delivery of the Future Wolverton vision. Much has been achieved, but one issue remains dominant.
Very regularly people come up to me and say that the biggest thing that they're worried about, the biggest thing that frustrates them and that they want to see change is the town centre. Having a town centre that really encapsulates the vision and what this community could be, and that really delivers on what people think they deserve as a community, because they're proud of this place.
Behind this wall is the railway works, which was developed in 1838 and is still there currently. And it spans the whole length of Stratford Road, which is in effect a one-sided high street. The only breach in the wall is where Tesco's developed a superstore in 1992. Church Street, which runs parallel with Stratford Road, is broken up by this 1970s development, the Agora Shopping Centre, and it disrupts the flow and pattern of the Victorian town that we're part of. The old Market Square, which is hidden behind the Agora, is a shadow of its former self. Glyn Square, which is at the entrance to Wolverton, is now a warehouse development with very useful shops in a very uninspiring environment.
When people come into Wolverton, they find it difficult to understand the actual four main areas. What is Stratford Road, what is Glyn Square, what is the Agora all about? What we want to do is obviously make that more apparent, more legible and easier for people to move in and around Wolverton.
Ricky from Exclusive Cupcakes, an internet startup which has come to the square and flourished, explains more about the issues that the Agora creates.
I think it would be really nice if Wolverton could be a bit more opened up. Unfortunately, the Agora building kind of seals the square from a lot of the places because people don't know that it's really nice.
Julia Charles, who runs an events management company, highlights a problem which frustrates many Wolverton residents.
It's the appearance of Wolverton. We have clients from across the UK that travel in to see us. Unfortunately, the areas coming into Wolverton do not sell Wolverton at all. Actually, they downgrade Wolverton. And it's a real shame because the people that live in Wolverton and build Wolverton to be the community it is today deserve a better hype about the place, and we just don't get it.
Wolverton Town Centre, you can't really call it a town centre, because there are no shops to shop in. If you need to buy anything, your only shopping experience would be a major supermarket, which isn't really an experience, it's a chore.
Despite the issues and problems that the town centre presents the community, we are taking positive steps to change things. Wolverton Steering Group draws together a cross-section of local stakeholders to address the key issues facing the town.
The Wolverton Steering Group is an opportunity for myself as head teacher to represent the views of our youngsters on a fledgling town development committee which includes lots of local stakeholders and a clear passion amongst all of us to see Wolverton's town centre improve and be truly representative of the way we feel about the Wolverton community.
Business representation on the steering group is strong and has been key during the neighbourhood planning process.
We have two businesses here in Wolverton. I also sit on Wolverton Steering Group and was lucky enough to be part of the neighbourhood planning event. The local community as well as the local businesses are very excited about what the local neighbourhood plan has to offer.
And it's the vision for the town centre that has arisen from the neighbourhood planning process that we are pinning our hopes on.
The community here in Wolverton is a little bit like a company. One of its aims is to give everyone low-cost services such as facilities for meeting, maybe facilities for eating, facilities for learning, and some of those services that really good big companies provide.
This hidden community of home workers is something that Julia Charles has direct experience of.
We had so many people just pop in who run businesses from their own home, and they've said to us, oh, I'm a light technician, or I'm a Beatles tribute band, I'm a cake decorator. There are so many suppliers in Wolverton that actually we don't need to source anybody from anywhere.
For some people working at home, moving to the high street will not be part of their business plan, but for many others it's a crucial step in creating a sustainable business, as Jane Yeo, one of the band of home workers, explains.
It's about removing the barriers and allowing people to take the risk and saying it's okay to take the risks and take your ideas into a safe, creative place where you don't have to take a big risk, you can share ideas with other people, and it's more than just making the money, it's generating a community in itself. And that's what is happening around kitchen tables all the time. And it's taking that next step, or it's, you know, we're selling things in our front gardens or garages, and actually a lot on the internet as well.
Yeah.
And it's harnessing all of that in a really great space that reflects what Wolverton is about and what we're about as people and what we want for the town.
And this great space may well be the empty Queen Victoria pub.
We're really interested on how we can actually encourage small businesses to grow, and one of our proposals is that we actually put in some incubator space, so people that are working in Wolverton, and there's a lot of them that work at home, can actually come out, test their business, start to grow their business, and then hopefully move on to bigger things.
But making the move from selling from your doorstep or on the internet to the high street is a big one, and part of our vision is to support and guide those brave enough to make the move.
The idea of the Sage Circle is to support entrepreneurs, and what happens is they get new ideas on how to take forward their enterprise, and importantly involve big business as well. They share a lot of the experience of the challenge of getting things started, and by asking and listening develop new ways of taking those enterprises forward.
And all of what we're trying to do is being backed by Milton Keynes Council.
We're sure the results of the pilots will be very useful to be replicated around the other towns within Milton Keynes. Wolverton has been very good being engaged with the others to share experiences. That's happening now with the neighbourhood plans front runner scheme, where Wolverton is one of the front runners, and already people from Wolverton have been going elsewhere to tell of their experiences even at this stage.
Our customers tend to just come here and then go home. There isn't a lot to stay around here for. There's not a lot of shops to go shopping. There's not a lot of experience around here, no.
Gentle pace. It's a railway town of no great renown, but to us that's no disgrace. The summit of success was a job with LMS.
I think what would be amazing would be to make Wolverton a place that becomes a destination where people from outside of Wolverton would want to spend a Saturday morning, would say to get up in the morning, say let's go and have breakfast at the whatever it would be cafe, and then spend the rest of the afternoon mooching around Wolverton, enjoying themselves.